כזה אם אתה רוצה.
מה? הגלגלית הזה?
כן. תראי, יש לך פה בננה. חי סלד, אני אקח לי אבל. יכול לשים חדשות.
Some of the melting snow and rock falls are being blamed for some power problems in Brooklyn. Con Edison said the problems began on Friday night in Bourne Hill and Park Slope. Roughly 1,100 customers were experiencing service interruptions yesterday. Officials say repairs have been challenging because crews are dealing with snow covering many of the manholes. Con Ed is using some local generators to stabilize service. House Speaker Mike Johnson says it'll be a few days before a bill comes up for a vote to end the partial government shutdown. The Senate approved the measure on Friday, but House Democrats are demanding ICE reform.
Sticking points remain the restrictions on ICE. Now, last week, the president cut a deal with Senate Democrats to pass a 2-week extension of funding for the Department of Homeland Security to buy time to negotiate. But Democrats over in the House aren't totally on board. It means the Speaker, Mike Johnson, will likely have to pass this with just Republican votes. And maybe he pulls that off. Congress will then have 2 weeks to reach a deal on a host of thorny issues related to ICE as Democrats demand that federal agents be unmasked, that they wear body cameras, and that the use of warrants be tightened.
That's correspondent Mary Bruce. We've got sunny skies and it's 31 degrees right now in Manhattan, and it's time now for Bloomberg Money Watch.
It's too early to know the full extent of damage to Florida's citrus industry because there is at least one more night to go in this historic cold snap. But the state's orange crop has already suffered significantly. That's according to the Weather Wealth newsletter. Central Florida temperatures dropped into the low 20s overnight, shattering records. Florida's already suffering citrus industry has seen output fall nearly a third in recent years, in large part due to invasive crop disease. I'm Andrew O'Dane, Bloomberg Money Watch on 1010 Wins at 92.3 FM.
1010 Wins.
My number one choice for news.
With so much is happening in the world today, I keep going all day long.
It moves so fast, you gotta be up on it.
1010 Wins at 92.3 FM.
Before we've been telling everybody we know, all the listeners and people in the streets, that we love our Chef IQ mini oven and they gotta get one too. Yeah, folks, sounds like another Chef IQ moment. So now we've got the Chef IQ sense of meat thermometer that we've been talking about for months, and that meat thermometer's already a legend. This mini IQ oven isn't just mini, it is mighty. The IQ mini oven is a sleek 11-in-1 smart convection powerhouse that air fries, bakes, broils, roasts, toasts, slow cooks, and more. And by the way, 40% faster than traditional ovens with pro-level results and zero guesswork. Yeah, it's got app integration, voice prompts, haptic touch screen. I mean, that sounds like a lot of stuff. I'm just here to tell you, it is so easy to use, and even if you are a terrible cook, everything's going to come out great with the Chef IQ mini oven. It's built to perform, designed to impress, and you can get 30% off now with promo code BOOMER at chefiq.com. Again, that's promo code BOOMER at chefiq.com.
Today's environment surrounding the immigrant community is chaotic, filled with fear and anxiety. Don't be afraid. It's time to act. I was an immigrant like you. My family immigrated from Somalia when I was 8 years old and gained political asylum in the United States. Now, I'm an immigration attorney. My name is Abdir Bari. My firm, Bari Law, is located in Manhattan and specializes in immigration law. The attorneys and staff members at Bari Law are also former immigrants who are now professionals. Take action now. Call Bari Law at 646-894-5900. 646-894-5900. I have lived your fears and felt your anxiety. It is more important than ever before to have a trusted immigration attorney representing you. 646-894-5900.
לעשות מחר. לא? לעשות מחר. אתה לא רוצה סלט? ומשאיות כאלה צריך, כבדות כאלה. $131 West 25. אז תעבוד על ה... תעשה את שניהם. תזמין את שניהם. 1,000 שמירה, 1,000 זה... האוסקיפר. נראה מה נדוג.
אתה מכיר את כל הדרכים.
פיטרו הרבה אחיות, הביאו אחיות מארצות אחרות.
מה?
פיטרו הרבה אחיות שעושות שביתה, והביאו אחיות מארצות אחרות.
אפשר להביא אחת אחרות.
זה אתה יודע, עושים כל מיני סיבות.
מה?
ככה תאכל, למה אתה לא אוכל?
תאכל.
מצאתי כזה, מקווה שהילדה טובה.
Wings News Time, 1:31. Let's get you to where you need to go with Lee and Flynn. Bumper to bumper in Queens on the eastbound LIE from exit 19 for Queens
לא, זה
Boulevard
דגם
all the
של
way out to
קנדי
Utopia
כזה.
Parkway. Now a little bit of
לאכול?
improvement. The two left
לא, אני
lanes were
זורק
blocked down
אותו.
to the left lane and just
לא, לא,
part
לא, לא.
of the center lane. So we'll take the improvement when we can get it. But you still want to stick with the Grand Central Parkway both ways to avoid the westbound LIE rubbernecking delays from the
פעם כשהיינו קטנים, אתה זוכר את הקטעים האלה כאילו אוכלים, אתה זוכר?
גם פה מוכרים.
זה הסטייל הזה.
גם הפרסית שהייתי מביא לילד משהו, היא לא הייתה לוקחת. אם לא הייתה רואה שאני קונה את זה ישר מהחנות, היא לא הייתה לוקחת.
כן, צריכים להיזהר, אתה לא יודע איזה שמטה יש ברחובות.
מאיפה הבאת את זה?
יכול להיות פויזן וזה.
אני אומר לה, קניתי, לא ראיתי שקנית. תזרוק את זה. אבל קניתי את זה עכשיו בשבילו, לא תזרוק.
צודקת, צריך להיזהר. צריך להיזהר, מה אתה חושב? במיוחד ילדים.
אבל אני רוצה לקנות לו משהו. תקנה לו כשאני רואה בעיניים שאתה קונה.
תראה, בחנות תביא את הרי קבלה וזה.
מראה לה קבלה. אומרת, אתה חוזר במחשב קבלות במה. אמרת להם, את לא מאמינה לי, אז מה אני עושה? הולך הביתה, עושה לי דרך הביתה.
העשירים ככה זה אצלם, אין אצלהם גלות. אתה לא עושה להם טובה. הם לא צריכים אותך, אתה מבין? הם לא צריכים אותך, אתה גם לא צריך אותה. כל מי שאין לך אחר ממנה, אתה לא צריך להמשיך קודם.
אני לא עונה לטלפונים, אז אמא שלה מתקשרת.
לא עונה טלפונים, באמת לפעמים, בעיה איתך.
לא, אני יודעת שודעת, אני לא עונה לה בכוונה. היא אומרת לאמא שלה שתתקשר.
עשה בלק, אתה לא יודע איך עושים בלק.
נעשה בלק, אבל מתקשרים מטלפונים אחרים.
כל טלפון אחר עושים בלק, אין דבר כזה. למה אף אחד לא מטריד אותי.
אומרת לדוד שלה מלוס אנג'לס, תתקשר לאילי.
תעשה לו גם בלק, כמה כבר אנשים יכולים לזה.
יש לה מיליון טלפונים.
רק שנייה, זה נורד. אני צריך את הסאוט.
תבוא איתי ללוס אנג'לס, המשפט נגד אחי סוכורט, היא אומרת לה, איך אני אבוא איתך? אין לי כסף, מה, כרטיס טיסה, מלונות וזה.
שלג על העצים.
זה כמו גלויות באגדות, בסופו של דבר.
זה יפה לראות, אבל לא יפה ללכת על זה.
אתמול דרכתי כל הנעל, נכנסה לי בתוך השלג, נכנס שלג לתוך הנעל. כבר רציתי את הנעל וניערתי אותה שהשלג לא יתנמס.
זה קטעים. כן.
קצת פתחתי את הנעל, רציתי את השלג, אתה יודע מה מתנמס? היה כמו מים. לפני סבתוך.
כן.
אז רציתי, ניערתי את הנעל. הוא לא יתנמס מהר, הוא קשה. ניערתי מהר.
מנער המוח. גז, סתם אין בזה פרנסה. זה רק...
לא מבין את פרנסה, בשבילי, לנסיעה שיהיה לי
בסדר, אבל אני אומר, זה מהיד לפה, כאילו, כל הסוג העבודות של הנהיגה זה מהיד לפה, אבל לך יהיה טוב, הקונג'אב, או הטורו, אתה מבין?
אין לי, מה ננהג, אני רואה, בחוות כולם נוהגים, ילדים קטנים נוהגים, יש לך מכוניות נוהגים שם כולם.
תראה את השלט ככה, צלם.
סע לאט.
לא יעשו סע.
וואי, תראה איזה לפני עליה.
אתה יכול לצלם ככה מרחוק, ככה אתה רואה את הכל. אתה יכול לעשות וידאו, צילום של וידאו קטן. אבל עזוב, יתפוס לך מקום בטלפון. מה תעשה וידאו?
מה כך עושים?
כי אז אתה רוצה תעלה על הגג.
זה קרח.
ככל שזה קרוב לעץ, יותר קרוח.
לא מסיק את זה, אבל איפה האוניות? לא רואים יותר אוניות עליי.
הנה, אתה לא רואה...
איפה אין? תראה. פעם היית רואה הרבה אוניות שטות, סירות. לא רואה כלום.
הנה איך האונייה הגדולה היא הגיעה.
היא עומדת, אתה לא יודע.
אבל היא הגיעה עכשיו.
לא יודע, אונייה סוברת קרחון עם האונייה.
נורוויג'ן קרוז ליין. נורוויג'ן קרוז ליין, רק היא הגיעה עכשיו.
כן, היא סוברת קרחונים, מה זה בשביל הנער?
אז יש לה שפיץ כזה.
שהיא לא תישבר?
הכל מתוכנן. זה הטייטניק ככה נשברה, נכנסה בקרחון או משהו.
כן. האוניות שלהם הרבה יותר גדולות מהטייטניק.
תראה, רואים אותה מפה, רואים מפה, רואים את האונייה.
זה כמו בניין מפה. אז יקרה לטייטניק תתנייד. זה לא קרוב מדי לקיר?
אני הולך לפי הקו משווה של השמאל, אתה יודע, יש קו, אני לא מסתכל איזה לימין.
איזה קו?
מסתכל הקו הזה שיש לי את הקווים הקטועים, אתה רואה את הקווים הקטועים?
לפי זה?
לפי זה, לא.
אתה נצמד כאילו לזה?
כן, ככה. לא מסתכל על מי.
אז ככה אתה יודע שאתה בטח לא תתקע קו הזה?
כן, כי זה בנוי לאוטו. זה בנוי לגודל של האוטו.
ככה אתה נוסע. לפי זה נוסעים?
לפי זה, אתה קו משווה, אתה יודע. אם אני הולך עכשיו כאילו קו אחר, אז אני הולך לפי הקו של האמצעים. לפעמים אין מרקר, אז אתה צריך לנחש.
אם אין מרקר.
אתה רואה את כל המשאיות האלה? למסאיות אספקה לאונייה. מסאיות אספקה של אוכל, בדים.
איזה לוגיסטיקה זה צריך, אה? כל מה שצריך, נייר טואלט,
כן.
תרביות,
מרקיח.
רקיח. צריך משאיות שלמות, אה?
כן, באים.
אנחנו ממלאים ככה בכל מקום שהולכת בעולם.
בוודאי.
אז זה משתלם לה לעשות ככה קרוס כזה $300 בכל הדברים האלה?
$300. אולי לקוני איילנד, איזה $300 שבראש שלך. אולי 1,300.
נראה רשום קרוס 300, 400,
זה.
3 ימים, 4 ימים.
ובקטן רושמים לך one way, או רושמים לך one way, אתה מבין?
לא אומרים לך, לא חזור.
גם במטוסים אומרים לך 200, 300, אז אתה קורא בקטן, כתוב לך one way, מיסים, אקסס, זה 2,000.
נורווגיה רקו.
היא ממש שפיצית מקדימה. ממש שפיצית מקדימה.
כמה בוא ניקח את דבר כזה? לק ברט, הציפור השחורה. בתוך הזה המחסנים למעלה יש את החללית.
כן. אין אנשים, קר לבקר. יש שם 2, 3.
זה הנה מעלה.
מה הם באו בקור הזה, מפגרים?
שם המעלית אסון.
בטח תיירים.
זה אתרים מרוסיה
יום
שבגלל...
אחד היו צריכים לקחת את האונייה הזו לניו ג'רסי, לצבוע אותה שם. עלה לממשלה $400 מיליון.
צבוע אותה, לבנות את כל האונייה לא עלה $400 מיליון.
זה מה ששילמו, אולי קצת צבע, $400 מיליון.
$400 מיליון, צבוע איזה צבע עשו?
צבע אפור מעף.
אני חלודה הכל.
בנייה חלודה.
סתם, $400 מיליון. אם על אנשים, מה כבר אתה בונה את הספינה $400 מיליון.
כל מה שקשור לממשלה זה עולה הרבה כסף. אם זה בן אדם פרטי זה רבע מהם.
הפרטי יוריד לך את זה לרבע ופחות.
ממשלה הם משלמים מחיר הכי גבוה, כי הם מקבלים, זה נקרא בקדור תשלומים, אתה מבין?
טראמפ יש עסקים, הוא מבין כמה עולה כל דבר, אז הם לא עושים לו את הקטעים האלה.
המשקפיים, הרוסי, הלכתי לעשות משקפיים. אמר לי, אני יכול לרשום, אמרתי לו שקבל קבלה, זה אומר, אני יכול לרשום לך בקבלה 200, 300, כמה שאתה רוצה. לא, אני בן אדם ישר, אני לא עושה דברים כאלה.
כאילו הממשלה משלמת, אתה אומר?
לא, אני בן אדם ישר, אני לא ישן בלילה.
אתה יודע, יעלו עליך, קחו לך את כל הבנפיטים מביאים לך.
כן, לא אוהב קטעים.
בסוף עולים עליהם, מה אתה חושב?
זה מה שהיא מזריקה שלך, מה אתה... הזריקה שלך זה סתם בלוני, זה לוקחים מהממשלה $3,000, שם לך זריקת סרק, אולי זריקת ויטמין, אולי בזריקת ויטמין שתישן, אולי בגלל זה אתה יושן. הם דוחפים לך משהו שאתה תישן. אתמול אתה מדבר עם הבן אדם 311, הוא מדבר איתך ואתה רדום טיחו.
כי לא נרדמתי, לא ישן בלילה.
נרדמת טיחו.
עם מי דיברתי?
311.
לילה קודם לא ישנתי. גם בלילה האחרון לא ישנתי. יצאתי ברכבת. אמרתי לך לבלביו, אתה שומע? יעמוד שעה באוטובוס עד שיבוא, בקר מוות, וגם בבלביו יותר קר מהקרון של הרכבת, אתה יודע?
כן.
כן.
כדי כך, זה בפנים.
הקרון של הרכבת יותר חם, בתוך הרכבת.
זה אולם בפנים.
אה?
זה אולם בפנים.
כן, אבל זה לא אחר. וכל הומלסים לידך יושבים, כמו בסלטר, מגעית.
תמנע מהמילים חסר בית, אני בלייב. תמנע מהמילים חסר בית, אני בלייב. מזה הבניין הזה.
כן.
צד שמאל זה עשירים, צד ימין זה הלוקוס.
איפה?
זה הבניין הגבוה הזה, העגול למעלה.
איזה?
העגול הזה, אתה רואה העגול למעלה?
העגול, כן.
אז צד שמאל זה העשירים, וזה אותו בניין, צד ימין זה הלוקוס.
כן, אותו בניין זה
כן.
כנראה. הם גרים לוקוס בבניין כזה?
כן.
אז למה שלא ישלחו אותי גם לאחד כזה?
תגיש בקשה, תהיה אזרח, תוציא רישיון, תוציא סקיוריטי.
יש גם טיסות נפרדות? רגע, והעשירים לא מתעצבנים?
אומר לך כניסת נפרדות.
לא, אז העשיר אומר, מה, גם אני אגיש בקשה ללוקוס, תגור כמוהם, מה אני צריך
אנחנו
לשלם?
עושים 1,000,000, 2 מיליון בשנה, אלא עושים 20,000 לחמות בשנה.
לא יכול להגיד שאני עושה את זה. אלה עושים 20,000 בשנה והוא עושה 2 מיליון בשנה.
בודקים, בודקים הכל. רק שבודקים, גם מזמינים אותך כל שנה, לראות אם השתנה לך הכנסות.
דני אומר, רוצה לעשות טאקס 3 שעות למי שמרוויח 2 מיליון ומעלה בשנה.
לא מזיז להם שיעשה 100%.
הוא אומר שמרוויח 1 מיליון בשנה, 3 שעות טאקס.
אז 30.
מתעצבנים, מה, אנחנו נעזוב את העיר. אנחנו נעזוב את העיר, יעשה לנו טאקס 3 שעות. ועוד הם רוצים זה, הטבות מהממשלה, כאילו הם מעסיקים אנשים. רובוט עובד יותר מהר מאנשים.
רובוט הוא גם לא מקדם את האקונומי, כי אנשים שמקבלים משכורת, הם קונים דברים, אתה יודע, קונים באוכל, בגדים, הם מזיזים את האקונומי, רובוט לא מזיז את האקונומי.
כן.
כל הכסף של האנשים, העבודה הולך על בעזרת האקונומי.
זה מה שטראמפ אומר, להעסיק אנשים שהם קונים, אתה מבין?
להעסיק רובוטים לא קונה כלום, זה יכול לפגוע בעקיפין, בחנויות, בנסיעות,
כן, כן.
כל האקונומי.
זה מה שטראמפ אומר, צריך לתת משכורות שאנשים יקנו דברים.
כן.
להעסיק אנשים, לתת להם משכורות טובות, שהם יקנו יותר, אתה מבין? קונים יותר, אז נכנס לממשלה יותר מיסים.
כן, common sense.
אבל בסקנדינביה, אתה יודע מה עושה הממשלה? היא מטילה מיסים כבדים על האנשים, אבל היא נותנת להם הרבה בנפיט.
מה אני אגיד לך? כל אחד בסטייל שלו.
רק אומר, זה לא שיטה
מה עם
טובה.
הטלפון של אילון מאסק?
מה?
מה עם הטלפון של אילון מאסק?
לא יודע, כבר 3 שנים אני שומע על הטלפון.
כן, טלפון סתם.
טלפון AI. טלפון AI, אבנה. פה זה הבית של ה... איך קוראים לזה?
קריסטינה, ביג דוקטור.
ביג דוקטור? פה. מה, הבת שלה זה מתרומת זרע?
לא שזה הרבה נושא מקשיבים.
בחרה איזה.
אם אני מדריך טיולים, אני מביא את האנשים לפה, אני אומר להם, הנה אמפייר סטייט בילדינג, והנה קרייזר בילדינג.
מה שעשו בלאס וגאס. בנו כל מיני אטרקציות של ניו יורק, עשו שם רפליקה. אמפייר סטייט בילדינג, פסל החירות, קרייזלר, התאומים.
כן, אני ביקרתי שם, הייתי שם. הייתי שם.
ראית את זה?
כן.
את רפיח, שתנו להם לצאת לכיוון אחד למצרים וזהו.
וכמה הברחות יהיה עכשיו של נשק. הברחות בלי סוף.
לא נותנים רק ל5 אנשים כל פעם להיכנס ועושים עליהם חיפושים.
ראיתי מסעיות, מה אתה מדבר שם? מסעיות נכנסות, יצאו. כמה הברחות לחמש את החמאס מחדש.
טראמפ נכנס לבנצואלה, אומר עכשיו זה בנצואלה שלי. זאתי שזכתה בפרס נובל בשלום, האישה מבנצואלה, נתנה את הפרס שלה לטראמפ.
כן.
אתה יודע? אחרי שטראמפ לקח את מדורו, הביאה לה את הפרס שלה. את הפרס שלה לנובל.
השמאלנים אומרים, עכשיו שטראמפ הפסיד את אפסטין איילנד, אז הוא רוצה לקחת את הגרין איילנד.
מה מחשוב שטראמפ מה?
הפסיד את אפסטין
מה
איילנד.
זאת אומרת הפסיד את אפסטין איילנד?
כאילו אומרים, הסטייל שלהם, כאילו אומרים, עכשיו שאין את אפסין איילנד, טראמפ מחפש את איילנד חדש, לעשות את כל השמטס שלו, אז הוא רוצה להתלבש על גרין איילנד, לעשות אותו
צודק,
אפסין.
אם לא זה הרוסים והסינים יבואו לשם, מה אתה חושב?
אפשר לך דוגמה, מה שהשמאלנים אומרים.
אתה יודע למה הוא התלבש על ונצואלה? לא בגלל הסמים, אתה יודע על מה? כי הסינים והרוסים התקרבו אליו יותר מדי לוונצואלה, אתה יודע את זה? לא בגלל הסמים. בגלל שהם מתקרבים יותר מדי לוונצואלה, אמר יאללה, נשתלט עליהם מהר קצת. עכשיו הוא רוצה להשתלט על קובה. הוא אומר ישים את רוביו, שיהיה הגוורנר של קובה.
מדבר קובאנית.
הוא כבר שם אותו גוורנר של ונצואלה, אבנר. גוורנר על ראש מדינה.
רוביו מדבר ספניש.
איה.
Citadel Parkway through this stretch of Brooklyn. So we'll keep you posted on this. In Queens on the Belt Parkway, eastbound, we're dealing with a crash that has you slow from the Van Wyck out to Springfield Boulevard. At least one lane is closed through that stretch. Utopia Parkway, that crash.
אתה יודע, זה מרק עד הסין.
איפה יש לך את הפתק עדיין שעזרת בטלה? אתה באזור, תלך תאכל, יש להם אוכל טוב דווקא.
כשר.
יש להם דגים, סמי, אוכל באיכות טובה.
אתה מגיע לי לאכול רק טופו.
טופו בבית, כבר חודש לא נגעים. תזרוק אותי.
מה טופו? תראה איזה שמן אתה, תאכל טופו.
אבל אם זה עוזר להוריד משקל, אולי ננסה.
אתה יודע איזה רזאי? זה עשרה, הכל עצמות.
רזה ומעבול, עדיף להיות שמן בריא מאשר רזה.
בכוס אין לה בכלל בשר, הכל עצמות. עיתונאת, למה אין לה חזה? אני אומר לה, איך יהיה לך חזה? אין לך בכלל
יש
בשר.
לה כסף, היא יכולה לעשות 100 חזה.
אין לך שומן.
יש לה מיליונים, היא יכולה לעשות חזה הכי גדול.
הבאתי לה חזה שראיתי
מייסיס.
לא מספרים לחנות הזאת, זה קוראים לשם ברלינגטון, אכלו חזה כזה.
זה לחצייה.
$7, הבאתי לה את זה. עוד לקחי סימי.
אתה תכין את עצמך לצאת. כי אתה איתי בלצאת, ויש לי מכוניות מאחור וזה. תכין מהר, כי אני...
איפה אנחנו?
אתה במקום, עוד מהמקום, אז תכין את התיקים, את הכל, ישר ממש יצא ואני אמשיך. אני רוצה לצפצפו לי יותר מדי.
זה ליד זלתך. טוב, מנהטן, לא?
יש לך $1 פיצה, יש לך... מצד ימין. תכין, תוציא את
גודוויל,
כן, יש הכל.
מה יש לך לגודוויל?
אני יכול כבר לעצור כאן. תלך שם, 131. אני אעשה עבודות באזור, תודיע לי מה קורה. אוקיי. אבל חכה שיש מכוניות של מכוניות.
זה הצד השני?
זה הצד השני, אבל בצד השני יש... קצת שלט. לא, חכה, יש מכוניות. אם אתה רוצה לאט, אז תצא כבר בצד השני.
איפה הפתק?
אני לא יודע, אצלך. כן, צא. אוקיי, להתראות, תודיע מה קורה. אני אעשה... לך, נו, תודה רבה ויבוא אוטו עכשיו.
יש לך עבודה?
כן. באים מכוניות, לך.
Custom formulated for you to restore healthy blood flow where it's needed most. Full and lasting erectile response in just a few minutes. To your doorstep, you can restore your raw with confidence. Our Valentine's extra doses of high-safety medication when signing up to the standard program. Calling from the 15% drop in operating earnings in the just finished quarter. That was better than forecast. Tyson's beef business suffered the 8th quarterly loss in a row amid the small size of the collective U.S. cattle herd. Now the lowest in 75 years, with the 17% jump in beef prices. Helps cushion the blow. I'm Andrew O'Day, Bloomberg Money Watch on 1010 Wins at 92.3 FM. Money Watch sponsored by Subaru.
Whether you're hitting the slopes or taking to the trails, get where you want to go in the new 2025 Subaru Forester Hybrid. With a driving range of up to 581 miles, electric abound and pit stops are optional. Love goes the extra mile. Get from the city to development on a single tank of gas. Thanks to the 2025 Subaru Forester Hybrid. Lease a new 2025 Forester
Yep. How you doing?
36 months with 10,000 miles per year and 46.2 new at lease signing. See participating retailer for details.
Making attendance are precious. They're multiplying you. Multiplying you. Yes, many times. Multiple times. Shall I stop it?
Multiply your venture with the Air Flatter Master Multiplier Stock Option. Including a chance to multiply your winnings up to 100 times. Prizes up to $3 million.
I won. I multiplied myself
I'm waiting for somebody else. I'm waiting for somebody else. Yeah, Phillips Greasy. Griff, it's you? Oh, okay. Careful. You have a high hat. You have, your hat is high. Or the car is small.
Oh, I can't sit here.
Maybe you need SUV. We're going to Brooklyn. 607 Bristol Street, Brooklyn.
Drive southeast on East 22nd Street. Then turn right onto Park Avenue South.
Used to be American car, big. Now everything is tiny.
Yeah, but there's tall people. You can't have nothing on my head. It's tall.
Turn right onto Park Avenue South.
At least the sunshine is out.
Continue for 1 mile.
But the snow is still not melting.
You have the window down.
Yeah, because I need a little fresh air.
Not heated, son.
You came from that doctor office?
Huh?
You came from?
Uh-huh.
I use that doctor place all the time. They good. My doctor is Clarice. I don't know if you know her, Clarice.
Oh, I didn't know.
She's good.
I'm not seeing. I wasn't seeing a PCP. I was seeing a specialist.
Yeah. They good.
Drive southwest on Broadway for a half mile.
Coming up on 10 Wins. A word to the wise: if you like your boo and you think they're a keeper, but you're not sure you want to marry him yet, you might want to avoid leaving the door open on Valentine's Day. New stats say New York is one of the top 5 states where wedding proposals are made on Valentine's Day. Uh-oh. We'll have the goo-goo-eye details after traffic and AccuWeather. So good on them. What did I say to Marion? Where's news time 211? Let's get to where you need to go. Here's Liam Flynn.
Well, we're not loving the Belton Brooklyn westbound from Rockaway Parkway past Flatbush Avenue. All lanes subject to closure there as they look to upright an overturned vehicle. And then just past Knapp Street, they're trying to extinguish a car fire. And we will keep you posted on the Belton Brooklyn. Eastbound, you also have some company from BQE getting out to Hamilton Avenue. We are slowing down reportedly with a crash. And here's what you need to know about the bridges and tunnels. The outbound George Washington Bridge, you got to get there and get past a crash now on the westbound Cross Bronx after Jerome Avenue. All said and done, it's going to cost you about 35 minutes. You can get to the outbound George by using the Deegan instead. Inbound, both levels are doing just fine, as are both directions of the Lincoln Tunnel. An extra few minutes out at the Holland, but inbound is cooperating for the moment. And it's
Drive southeast on East 8th Street, then turn right onto Cooper Square.
happening with an accident. Montauk Highway or the Southern State are your alternates. Liam Flynn, 10 Wins on 92.3 FM.
Around 7,000 motor vehicle accidents happen in New York City every single month. If you've been injured in a car accident, the law office of Isaac Abraham can represent you. Call 646-499-3131.
Kids killed in the
Isaac Abraham, Attorney Abraham. And now your AccuWeather 4-day forecast. Meteorologist Brian Thompson now with this live report.
Well, we've been enjoying a lot of sunshine throughout the day so far. We'll continue to see sunshine for the rest of this afternoon. Still a cold breeze, but it certainly is not as harsh as it's been on recent days. Temperatures in most places have now gotten above freezing. We're in the mid-30s. Thanks to weather. Real field temperatures so close to 20, though. And then as we head through tonight, mostly clear. It is going to be a cold night ahead as the wind diminishes. Low 16 in Midtown, single digits in the suburbs. You will want to watch for some icy spots tonight. Anything that is melting right now with the sun and the above freezing temps sort of refreeze on untreated surfaces. So there could be a couple of 6 spots as well. So 16 in Midtown tonight and single digits in the suburbs. The high temperature higher as we head into tomorrow with sunshine for afternoon plans. A couple of flurries late tomorrow night. Tomorrow into Wednesday, high 32, high just 28. Despite a good deal of sunshine on Thursday. And we could see a bit of snow Friday before we see another rigid weekend. Highs could be only in the teens by Saturday and Sunday. Right now, sunny and 34 in Midtown, and we're pretty much at our high temperature for the day. I'm AccuWeather meteorologist Brian Thompson on New York's weather station, 10 Wins on 92.3.
Come on home.
We're just going to try to park things there. We know.
Turn right onto Cooper Square.
Unless those puppy dog eyes is truly the one for you, you better run and hide on Valentine's Day because they're most likely to pop the question. Especially if you're a New Yorker. New York residents only in Georgia has a number of marriage proposals that are made on Valentine's Day. Florida comes in third, along with Virginia, Pennsylvania, New Jersey, and Connecticut. Well, if you live anywhere in the tri-state region, there are pretty good days. About this day on Valentine's Day. Proposal planning searches, according to a new Valentine's proposal likelihood index. So if you're not too sure about me, you might want to avoid any plans remaining places this Valentine's Day or else start looking at menus.
Managing time, getting organized, starting a project.
Continue for 1 mile.
Every high school student should master before college. Landmark College offers summer programs for high school juniors and graduates that specialize in building executive function and prepare students for the transition to college. Enroll in president calls, attend classes, and take part in fun activities with two friends they'll make on Landmark's beautiful campus in Putney, Vermont. Financial aid is available. Visit landmark.edu/summer to learn more. Hi, I'm Fort Worth.
Drive south on Bowery for a half mile. Turn left onto Manhattan Bridge. Continue for 3 miles. Flatbush Avenue extension for 1.5 miles.
Icy spots from any snow and ice that has melted during the
Drive southeast on Flatbush Avenue for 1 mile. Drive southeast on Flatbush Avenue for 1 mile. Red light camera ahead. Drive southeast on Flatbush Avenue for a half mile. Speed camera ahead. Street West. Turn left onto Plaza Street West, then bear left.
Sunday school, and you actually went on missions over the summer. And in an earlier interview we did, you described your missionary work not as proselytizing, but as like free labor, helping people build latrines and build roofs. And you did that in Kentucky and West Virginia and the back hollers. And one summer you went to Haiti and worked with Mother Teresa's order in the House of the Dying. Can you describe the House of the Dying? What
southeast on Grand Army Plaza. Bear left to stay on Plaza Street West.
Which way I need?
Keep going.
I need to go
Continue for 2 miles.
straight.
Right.
This way.
Yes.
Drive northeast on Plaza Street East for 2 miles. Speed camera ahead.
And unlike the tough guys in
drive east on Eastern Parkway for 1.5 miles. Speed camera ahead. Red light camera ahead. Speed camera ahead. Do you have a preference? You know, why don't you pick your favorite version of My Funny Valentine? My favorite. Red light camera ahead.
northeast in a quarter mile. Turn right onto Buffalo Avenue. Red light camera ahead.
He also starred in the FX streaming series The Lowdown, which has been renewed for a second season. Our interview was recorded in November. My funny Valentine, sweet comic Valentine, is your figure less than 3?
Red light camera ahead.
Tomorrow on Fresh Air, the succession story inside the Murdoch media empire, which includes Fox News and the Wall Street Journal. We'll talk with journalist Gabe Sherman. He's covered the Murdochs for nearly 2 decades and has a new book about the succession fight, the outcome, how it broke the family, and its impact on the world. I hope you'll join us. Fresh Air's executive producers are Danny Miller and Sam Britton. Our technical director and engineer is Audrey Benson, with additional engineering today from Diana Martinez. And both Teresa Madden, Monique Nazareth, Faya Challoner, Susan Yakundi, Anna Bauman, and Nico Gonzalez-Whistler. Our digital media producer is Molly Phoebe Nesper. Roberta Shorrock directs the show. Our co-host is Tanya Mosley. I'm Terry Gross. Support for NPR comes from this station and from SJC, a foundation of donor-advised funds working to maximize the impact of charitable giving and to create customized philanthropic solutions. Learn more at sjc.org. And from the George Lucas Educational Foundation, creator of Edutopia. For 35 years, sharing what's worked in schools today and working to inspire new ways to learn tomorrow. More at edutopia.org.
Shame is a powerful force. Can be a negative one for sure. But I'm talking about one personal sense of shame. That open feeling which can keep our own behavior in check.
Speed camera ahead.
Feels no sense
South on Buffalo Avenue. Then bear left to stay on Buffalo Avenue.
That's coming up Monday on Point. Weeknights at 8 on WNYC.
Bear left to stay on Buffalo Avenue.
WNYC is supported by Atlantic Theater Company, the off-Broadway production of The Reservoir, a community
Continue for 1 mile.
memory and recovery by Jake Brash, starring Noah Galvin, Caroline Aaron, Chick Zion, and more. Begins February 5th. Tickets at atlantictheater.org.
Beverly Glenn Copeland is a Canadian music legend, singer, composer, and transgender activist whose work spans 6 decades. He'll be here with his wife Elizabeth to talk about their new album, After in Summer, which they call a love letter to one another. That's coming up on
southeast on Rockaway Parkway for a half mile.
The government made reporting on Sunday after other documents appeared to show he'd received large payments from the late sex offender in 2003 and 2004. He says he has no recollection of them.
Is there any supermarket near your place?
Supermarket?
Yeah.
It's
yeah.
a deli.
No, I want a supermarket. I'm gonna Google it.
There's a supermarket.
Hmm?
There's a supermarket.
Food bazaar?
No. There's a supermarket associated.
Because I have EBT.
Yeah, they take it.
EBT.
Yeah, they take it.
And if I don't use it, I'm gonna lose it. You know, every month they renew the payment.
No, the course is over.
It's going over? Oh, okay. That's
You
good.
don't need it for a long time. They may take it, but
Yeah, for 2-3 weeks, if you know.
nah. You still have it. There is a supermarket down the road.
Yeah. Yeah, to get agua, olive oil. I don't have much. It's like $50 there.
Oh no, I wouldn't go to that supermarket.
No? They don't have good olive oil?
Yeah, they probably do, but I wouldn't buy it from there.
Why, they have a fake one?
No, I just say I wouldn't spend my money there unless I really needed it.
Why, it's expensive there?
Probably. I don't buy stuff like that. Yeah. I'll go to
You know, the spring water, they have 24 case for like $6 or something.
where?
In the supermarket. You know, the case, the
I
bulk,
get it
24
at
watt.
I get it at BJ's or
Oh, that's too far. It's too many people. You know, Costco, BJ, this.
no, it's not that far from over here. It's not that far.
Yeah, but we don't buy bulk. We have tiny apartment. You need big apartment for all this big bulk.
But I do get water.
You get the case? How many cases you
I
get?
get the case. I get the
In a quarter mile, turn
How many-
left
you
onto
get
Church
3
Avenue.
case?
Huh?
How many cases you get?
Oh, I get 2 cases.
Oh, okay.
I just let them sit on the floor.
Yeah, we use a lot of this water. We don't drink from the faucet.
Oh, New York has the best water there is.
Yeah. I don't know these days. Long Island, they don't have good water.
New York has the best water. Hold on. You probably went to my earpiece. Can you hear me now? Went to my earpiece.
Turn left onto Church Avenue. Then turn right. Turn right onto East 98th Street.
Without paying me. So she had something there.
In 600 feet, turn left onto Hickman Avenue. Drive southeast on East 98th Street. Then turn left onto Hickman Avenue. Turn left onto Hickman Avenue.
Not a left turn, he's just going around, that's all.
In 1,000 feet, drop-off will be on the left.
Do I have to give you a fee?
Yeah, $3.
I must have gave somebody an extra dollar. Because the dollar bills were new. So I must have given somebody an extra dollar.
כאילו ואין מו קשה.
There's going to be an opening on the right-hand side.
Oh, okay.
Drop-off is on the left.
Right here? Okay. It's like a driveway.
It is a driveway right there.
Oh, cool. Thank you. Have a good day.
And there's the supermarket right there.
Oh, okay, thank you. Have a good day.
Thank you.
Take care. Appreciate it.
But the corner store takes it too.
Drop some money. Supermarket. Holy boy. Parking. Oh, yeah, parking. Let's see. Excellent. מה קורה? מה סגרת איתי?
פה מחכה שידברו איתי.
אה?
אני עדיין פה מחכה.
כן, זה ה-BRC, לא?
לא יודע, יש פה כל מיני משוגעים בבניין.
אני חושב שזה המשרדים של ה-BRC.
יעשי מה זה יקרה.
BRC, אתה יודע, המכוניות הכתומות האלה, כתוב BRC.
לא יודע. יש פה הרבה משוגעים, מטורפים.
טוב, מה, משם ייתנו לך הפניה לאיזה מקום. זה כאילו, המיטות שמה או מקום אחר?
יש פה גם מיטות. גם בחדר.
מה אתה רוצה, שיהיה לך אילון מאסק, דונלד טראמפ, אנשים, זה מה שיש, זה הסחורה שם. כן, אני בברוקלין. במקומות לשבת, אתה יודע, יש לך את הפדקס שם, אתה יודע. פדקס לידך שם. על המעלית להזר.
רק בגלל שם, לא מנקים.
הביא את כל הקשקושים. עוד כל משהו. טוב, אני הולך לסופרמרקט בברוקלין לדבר, אתה יודע מה קורה, שלח תמונות.
סופרמרקט יותר?
לא יודע, נראה.
fraying of the local journalism model, because local journalism is the first step in trust. You know, if there's a fire on the corner and you saw it walking home the previous day and you see it written up in the newspaper, there's an immediate bond of trust that's created. And when there's less and less of that, you know, that first step in the trust chain just doesn't quite happen. And I think there's an unraveling happening. So that would be my answer there.
So we've been talking about the importance of local news, but we should also know that over the past few weeks, we've seen a series of extraordinary moments involving the press and the federal government. That includes the arrests late last week of independent journalists Georgia Ford and Don Lemon, along with two others. And a federal judge blocked the government from reviewing devices it seized from a Washington Post reporter's home. So, Eric, what do these cases say to you about the relationship between the press and the federal government right now?
I think there is, I hate to be sort of like dramatic about it, but I think there's every reason to sort of be alert about this and be very worried about the trends. I mean, this is the first time we're talking about, let's talk first about the search and seizure of devices at the home of a Washington Post journalist. That was on January 14th. As the Reporters Committee for Freedom of the Press noted, this was the first time that a reporter's home residence has been searched as part of a National Leak investigation. And that is a really, really, really big deal. Because if you want to report on national security and you want to report on what one of my sources called the most important government function, which is national security and intelligence and so on and so forth, you need sources. And if the government's going to go around searching reporters' homes, well, it's going to be tougher to get those sources. And people are not going to want to do the job. So, I mean, like, this is a watershed. The thing that happened with Lemon and Fort is also very troubling from a media law perspective, because these people were doing their job. Obviously, there was some degree of complication in the sense that it happened in a church. But journalism is, protected under the United States Constitution. There is freedom of the press, and that was an example of the exercise of that freedom. And so that is, as you said, the judge, I think, you were mentioning, twice, I believe, in the Lemon situation, judges had turned down an attempt to charge, arrest, or indict Don Lemon. I guess the third time they made it work somehow. But yes, it's extremely troubling if you're anywhere near the journalism world, and I think it's extremely troubling for the citizenry as well.
And Eric, there's a progression here. It strikes me. We're talking about the business of news, and it's important. There's also a progression in terms of the authoritarian crackdown on the news business. We've gone from fake news, the refrain fake news, which just means like don't believe negative stuff about me or us, to enemy of the people, go ahead and intimidate them, to the government intervening, arresting journalists and raiding their homes. There's a clear escalation and a clear progression there.
I think that's unmistakable. I think it's unmistakable that there's an escalation. That is quite laid out in the facts and what has been happening. And obviously there are remedies for journalists. For instance, let me just take, for example, my own employer. It sued the Pentagon over the set of restrictions that the Pentagon imposed on journalists in October, setting up a bunch of grounds on which they could have their press passes revoked. One of those being that in certain circumstances, if reporters receive or publish classified and certain unclassified information, they could lose their press pass pending, a determination by the Pentagon. Well, most news outlets that were in the Pentagon denounced that as a transgression of the First Amendment, and the Times sued. So there are recourses at this point, but we should not have to be taking these steps to protect our rights. For the longest time, they were pretty well protected and pretty well observed. That is changing.
Eric, before we let you go, I would just love to hear your perspective
in this video
about what's at stake for democracy, especially when we look at the erosion of local news. A Pew Research study found a really strong link between
access to local news and civic engagement. People who tended to be more civically engaged, they were also very interested in local news. As we see that footprint, that local news footprint shrinking, what are your concerns about what it means for how well our democracy functions?
I mean, the concerns, I don't know that they could be more pressing. I mean, I just think about how the last time you entered the voting booth, or think about a time, if you're as old as I am, that you entered the voting booth and you have, let's just say you're voting on, I don't know, 10, 15 races. And, you know, even very involved citizens may not have read, you know, widely about each particular campaign. But when you have a really lively news ecosystem, you're likely to hear something about this candidate, something about that candidate, something about this other candidate. So when you go into that voting booth, you have some clue about what you're doing. I fear that increasingly even motivated citizens, when they go to the voting booth, will have no clue what's going on. I think that is the...
כן.
שלחו אותי חזרה לאינטק.
מה זה אינטק? איפה זה?
ב-30 סטריט שם, אבל דירה ראשונה.
כן, תחזור לשם, אתה תסגור מה שצריך לסגור.
נגיד לה, איך קוראים לזה?
האינטק, אולי משם יארגנו לך משהו.
אני אגיד לה, אני רשום בברוקלין, דוריה פלייסס, במקום לא טוב, אני אגיד למה אני פחד להיות שם, אני לא רוצה להיות שם.
תגיד להם, הגיל שלך ובעיות רפואיות, תגיד להם health problem.
נשק.
כן.
למה אני לא רוצה להיות שם.
תגיד מבחינה בריאותית.
כן, בדיוק.
תגיד להם סיניור, מבחינה בריאותית. תוקפים אותך, ויילנט. אוקיי. לך לאינטק, לך מה שצריך לעשות, תעשה. אני לא בעיר, אני בברוקלין.
כן, אוקיי, תתראות, תודה.
תדבר כל טוב, ביי.
ביי.
In a quarter of a mile, turn right on East 98th Street. Hi, if you record your name.
אמרת להם את הקוד בלו?
כן, הם אומרים עכשיו עלה הטמפרטורות, אז זה לא קוד בלו יותר. זה יותר חם.
זה קטן, זה הקוד שלהם. זה קודים יש להם.
קארד, אני קוד בלו.
$4 ביליון, לא עושים כלום.
$4 ביליון כל שנה?
כן. ולא עושים כלום. מטרטרים, לך לפה, לך לשם. כמו חלמיש בארץ, גם ככה מטרטרים.
כן. גם מה?
לחזור שם ל-114, שיהיה לך מקום לשבת במחשב וזה. מבין?
אמר אם לא יקבלו אותי פה, נחזור אליו ביום רביעי.
יום רביעי? למה יום רביעי? עכשיו. לך אליו עכשיו, למה יום רביעי? כאילו עכשיו אתה צריך מקום לשבת וזה.
In a quarter of a mile, turn left on Lennox Road, then turn right on Rockaway
אחלה
Parkway.
מקום, זה לך לשם עכשיו.
כן, 114, כן?
כן. אתה רכבת. מהווסט סייד, אתה בווסט סייד. תלקח רכבת, פשוט תעלה שם, תצא, לא יודע, רכבת 110, לא יודע איפה עוצר, תבדוק.
כן, זה, ומה עם ה-30 סטריט, אתה יכול ללכת ל-30?
בוא תרשם שם ב-114, אחר כך תתפנה לכל מיני טרטורים.
כן.
מביא לך טלפון, תתקשר אליו. מביא לך טלפון בפתק הצהוב להתקשר אליו. יש את הטלפון שלו.
אני כרטיס ביקור שלו.
תתקשר אליו, תגיד לו שלא קיבלו אותך. אתה רוצה לחזור להירשם ל-114, לפחות לשבת. צריך מקום להיות. מבין? אתה יכול לבוא להירשם זמנית עד שימצאו לך מקום, כי אתה 4 ימים כבר ברחוב, ותגיד להם שאתה רעב, צריך שירותים.
כן.
אוקיי, תתקשר, תחזור, תדע לי מה קורה.
תודה.
כן, אוקיי.
ביי.
Turn right on Rockaway Parkway.
How much space should be allowed between upper and lower fifth wheel after coupling? The correct answer is C, nothing. You have pushed the trailer air supply valve. You should not back a tractor under a trailer until the whole air system is. The correct answer is B, at normal pressure.
אני חשבתי גם תשים את הלפטופ חזרה בסטורג'. עזוב אותך מהעבודות, עד שתארגן מקום, משהו, אתה מבין? אפשר להסתובב עם הלפטופ, אתה עוד לא מקום רגוע.
כן.
איך הסטורג' תשים את זה, עד שיהיה לך ככה מקום. אי אפשר לעבוד אם אין מקום מסודר, לא?
כן.
לך, אז אתה קרוב לסטורג', שתי בלוקים, לא תשים את ה...
כן.
תשים את זה לסטורג', תלך ל-114, תעשה טלפונים, תראה מה קורה. אוקיי. אני רק ממליץ לך, איך שנוח לך. אני ממליץ לך לשים את הלפטופ בסטורג'.
כן, נשים אותו שמה.
כן, ככה יהיה לך יותר קל להסתובב. אוקיי, ביי.
כן, תודה, ביי.
You are coupling a tractor to a semi-trailer. You have connected the air lines. Before backing under the trailer, you should The correct answer is A, supply air to the trailer system, then pull out the air supply knob. There are two things that a driver can do to prevent a rollover. They are 1, keep the cargo as close to the ground as possible, and 2, the correct answer is A, go slow around turns. The air brake leakage rate for a combination vehicle, engine off, brakes off, should be less than blank psi per minute. The correct answer is C, 3. The safest way to make turn without entering another traffic lane is The correct answer is B. You should turn wide as you complete the turn. The higher the center of gravity of your truck, the correct answer is C. Easier to turn over.
Wondering if you can e-file if you owe taxes? This edition of Tax Tips by TurboTax will explain how you can file and pay online. Filing your federal income tax return online is convenient.
A driver crosses the air lines when hooking up to an old trailer. What will happen? The correct answer is C. If the trailer has no spring brakes, you could drive away, but you wouldn't have trailer brakes. The hand valve should be used. The correct answer is B, to test the trailer brakes. When driving a set of doubles, it is necessary to close which shut-off valve in the last trailer? The correct answer is C, back. If the service line comes apart while you are driving a combination vehicle, but the emergency line stays together, what will happen right away? The correct answer is C. Nothing is likely to happen until you try to apply the brakes. There There are two things that a driver can do to prevent a rollover. They are 1. Go slow around turns, and 2. The correct answer is B. Keep the cargo as close to the ground as possible. After connecting the airlines, but before backing under the trailer, you should. The correct answer is A. Supply air to the trailer system, then pull out the air supply knob. You are coupling a tractor to a semi-trailer and have backed up, but are not under it. What should you hook up before backing under? The correct answer is A. The emergency and service airlines. There are two things that a driver can do to prevent a rollover. They are 1. Go slow around turns, and 2. The correct answer is C. Keep the cargo as close to the ground as possible. Why should you lock the tractor glad hands to each other, or dummy couplers, when you are not towing a trailer? The correct answer is B. It will keep dirt or water out of the lines. While driving behind other vehicle under good condition, you should allow at least 1 second between your vehicle and the vehicle ahead for each. Length. How many feet of your vehicle length? The correct answer is A. 10. Explanation. Follow far enough behind other vehicles, at least 1 second for each 10 feet of your vehicle length, plus another second if going over 40 miles per hour. Look far enough down the road to avoid being surprised and having to make a hard brake or sudden lane change. If the service line comes apart while you are driving a combination vehicle, but the emergency line stays together, what will happen right away? The correct answer is B. Nothing is likely to happen until you try to apply the brakes. Glad hands are usually connecting which of these? The correct answer is C. Service and emergency airlines from the vehicle to the trailer. You are about to back your tractor under a semi-trailer. The trailer is at the right height when the correct answer is C. Trailer will be lifted slightly when the tractor backs under it. While checking if the tractor is securely coupled to the trailer, the landing gears should be. The correct answer is B. Slightly raised. You should not back a tractor under a trailer until the whole air system is. The correct answer is B. At normal pressure. After you lock the kingpin into the fifth wheel, you should check the connection by. The correct answer is C. Pulling the tractor ahead gently with the trailer brakes locked. Where should the tractor be when you inspect landing gear after uncoupling the trailer?
Robinhood Gold offers one of the highest APYs available. You can get started by downloading the Robinhood app.
The correct answer is A. With the tractor frame under the trailer. score. The correct answer is C. Both A and B are correct. When uncoupling the trailer, after you shut off the trailer air supply and lock the trailer brakes, you should The correct answer is B. Back up gently to ease pressure on the fifth wheel. Air brake equipped trailers made before 1975. The correct answer is A. Often do not have spring brakes. The iron trailer supports are up and the trailer is resting on the tractor. Make sure. The correct answer is C. There is enough clearance between the tractor frame and the landing gear. If you cannot make a turn without entering another traffic lane,
Robert's case. His accident seemed minor. Insurance offered $5,000. He qualified for the program, and they got him $70,000 in under 6 weeks. Money he never would have seen through traditional routes. Here's how you can see if you qualify. Use their qualification tool and answer a few simple questions about your accident. It takes less than 30 seconds. The tool determines if your specific case meets the criteria for the Crash Connect program. If you qualify for the program, that's when the real magic happens. You get assigned a dedicated specialist who uses the program's proven methods to secure maximum compensation for your case. They handle all negotiations, all paperwork, all the stress, while you just wait for your...
Welcome to DMV Path. Hey guys, thanks for your support. This is an updated version of the air brake practice test video posted a few weeks ago. Please know that I really appreciate your comments. Hopefully you'll continue.
Hey everyone, it's Jonathan here, founder of Draft Academy. In today's video, we're going to be giving you questions and answers for the combination vehicle written exam to get yourself a CDL permit. I'm wearing the hat because I'm feeling in the Christmas spirit and I'm willing to give you a gift. Most of the time people have to pay for this information, but because you're a loyal fan here on YouTube, you actually get this information for free. So let's get going. Understand I'm not going to give you all the answers because you're going to have to be a student here to do that. But I'll give you a sneak preview and we're going to go through each step by step. Let's go through some questions and answers for the combination written exam for your CDL permit. If you're looking to get a CDL, you should know that this is going to be one of the tests that you're going to have to pass if you're looking to get that CDL Class A. You're going to have to pass general knowledge, air-based, and combination vehicle. So let's dive right in. First question is going to be, which of the following statements is true? A, it takes longer to stop a loaded vehicle. B, it takes longer to stop an empty vehicle. C, it takes the same amount of time to stop a loaded vehicle as it does an empty vehicle. Or D, none of the above. The correct answer is B. It takes a lot longer to stop an empty vehicle. The reason behind that is these vehicles, when we're talking about vehicles, we're talking about tractor trailers, these things right over here. Those vehicles are built to carry up to 80,000 pounds, which means the suspension, the brakes, the tires are all built to carry a whole lot of weight. So when all that weight is on top of that, it's causing friction, and it's actually pushing down on the tires and making sure the brakes work, which means now it's going to stop much faster than if you were just empty. Because if you're empty, there's no friction, and the trailer actually starts bouncing, and the tires actually lose connection with the ground itself, which means it's going to take you longer to come to a complete stop. So that is why it is letter B. Number 2, jackknife will occur once the angle between the tractor and the trailer reaches either A, 10 degrees, B, 25 degrees, C, 15 degrees, and D, 5 degrees. So this is just like a memorization question. This is going to be 15 degrees C. So the reason why it's 15 degrees, once it starts getting to more than 15 degrees, that's when a jackknife happens. And jackknife simply means that the tractor looks like this and the trailer looks like this. So you have some type of L shape going on there. Anytime you have a jackknife, whether you're backing up or pulling forward, most of the time it has to do because you slipped around, or maybe if you're backing up, put yourself in a jackknife, that means you don't really know what you're doing, because anytime you're like this, it's going to make it very, very hard to maneuver the vehicle itself. So you want to avoid jackknives pretty much at all costs. Question number 3. Your 60-foot vehicle is traveling 45 miles an hour. What is the proper following distance? You're going to have 7 seconds as A, B is going to be 5 seconds, C is going to be 4 seconds, and D is going to be 6 seconds. The correct answer is going to be 7, so that's going to be letter A. Now this formula here is talked about in the general knowledge section. So even when you go...
Segment from security officers in the
on the way. Thursdays on All Things Considered, or sign up for our weekly email at wnyc.org/ontheway.
WNYC is supported by Brooklyn Solar Works, a Brooklyn-based solar firm working to bring custom rooftop solar to NYC homes and businesses. Details at brooklynsolarworks.com.
It's WNYC. Good afternoon to you. Coming up on 93.9 FM and AM 820. It's All Things Considered. On Point is at 8 o'clock tonight. On the show this evening, shame is a feeling that can keep our behavior in check and enforce standards of acceptable behavior. On tonight's On Point, what happens when our political leaders have no sense of shame? That's On Point at 8 p.m. tonight here on WNYC. It's followed by Radiolab at 9Q, airs at 10 o'clock tonight. Well, it's cold outside, maybe not as cold as we've seen, but yeah, it's still pretty chilly out there. 33 degrees right now here in Lower Manhattan. We're going to see temperatures in the teens tonight. Of course, with the wind, it'll feel colder than that. It's WNYC at 4 o'clock.
This is WNYC, FM, HD, and AM, New York.
In 0.2 miles, use the left 2 lanes to turn left on Eastern Parkway.
The opening of the crossing at Rafah is just the start of what will be a massive undertaking to rebuild Gaza. Good afternoon, I'm Sean Carlson, and you are listening to All Things Considered. It's on WNYC. Also coming up, Homeland Security announces it's re-examining refugee cases to, quote, root out fraud.
It seems like what they're actually doing is trying to find a way to revoke their refugee status.
More than 100 refugees have been unlawfully arrested in Minnesota. These are people who have been allowed to stay in the U.S. That's stories coming up. Also just ahead, we'll hear from one of Jeffrey Epstein's victims about what may be in the final release of the Epstein files by the Department of Justice. All that and more. Stay with us. News headlines are next.
Live from NPR News in Washington, I'm Kristen Wright. Lawmakers are divided on how to end the partial government shutdown. There's continued disagreement over federal immigration enforcement operations. The Trump administration can continue those immigration enforcement operations and the surge in Minneapolis after a ruling from a federal judge over the weekend. That's as Border Czar Tom Homan said there are plans to draw down the federal government's presence there. But many people in Minneapolis say they don't feel any change, as NPR's Kat Lonsdorf reports.
U.S. District Judge Kate Menendez denied the state's request for an immediate halt to the federal military-style operation in the city, which has been going on for nearly 2 months, while at the same time acknowledging the tremendous strain it has put on the people of Minnesota. On the same day, a different judge in Texas issued a scathing order to release 5-year-old Liam Conejo Ramos and his father, Adrian Conejo Arias, from federal detention. Liam was detained in a Minneapolis suburb last month, wearing a fluffy blue bunny hat and Spider-Man backpack after coming home from school. Pictures of that incident spurred outrage across the country. The two are now back in Minnesota. Kat Lonsdorf, NPR News, Minneapolis.
President Trump has announced a new trade deal with India. NPR's Deepa Shivaram says Trump and Prime Minister Narendra Modi spoke by phone.
Trump has been critical of India in recent months for buying oil from Russia and has been threatening higher tariffs. Now, Trump says Modi has agreed to stop buying oil from Russia and instead buy more from the U.S. and possibly from Venezuela. Last year, Trump placed a 25% tariff on countries buying oil from Venezuela. But now the administration says India can resume those purchases to replace imports of Russian oil. Trump claims that this move will help end the war in Ukraine, which is about to reach the end of its 4th year. The new trade deal with India will include a lower tariff down to 18% from 25%. Trump says India will remove their tariff against the U.S. altogether. Deepa Shivaram, NPR News.
The mother of Today Show host Savannah Guthrie is missing. Ellen Boyd has more from Tucson.
Family reported Nancy Guthrie missing from her Tucson home over the weekend. Pima County Sheriff Chris Nanos says it's being investigated as a possible crime. Relatives last saw Guthrie Saturday night A 911 call reporting her missing came in around noon Sunday, prompting a large-scale search. Nanos provided updates at a press conference this morning.
Nancy Guthrie is of great sound mind. This is not a dementia-related. She is as sharp as a tack. The family wants everybody to know this isn't somebody who just wandered off.
Nanos was tight-lipped on the state of Guthrie's home, but said it was concerning enough for criminal investigators to assist. For NPR News, I'm L.M. Boyd in Tucson.
This is NPR.
And you're listening on WNYC in New York. I'm Sean Carlson at 33 degrees right now at 4:04. A usually bustling light rail station in New Jersey is quieter today after federal immigration officers arrested several people there yesterday. WNYC's Arya Sundaram reports.
The 9th Street light rail station is on the border of Jersey City and Hoboken. Hoboken Mayor Emily Jabor says she knows at least 3 people who were arrested there on Sunday on their way to work at local businesses. She said the station was noticeably less busy on Monday morning, indicating people were scared to go about their normal routines. And she says residents have been anxious and outraged about the arrests.
The Department of Homeland Security did not immediately respond to a request for comment about ICE activity in the Garden State. New York City officials say there are 2 confirmed cases of Legionnaire's disease in a water supply of an apartment building in West Harlem. Majority Leader Councilmember Shawn Abreu says that this has caused residents at 3333 Broadway, which is off 13th Street, to have to take cold showers to avoid potential exposure. Under city law, building management now has to come up with a treatment plan approved by the city's health department. Legionnaire's disease doesn't spread from person to person, but can be contracted by breathing in water vapor that have Legionella bacteria. It's a serious type of pneumonia that can cause shortness of breath and a fever. Last year, a Central Harlem Legionnaire's outbreak sickened more than 100 people and killed at least 6. Many of those cases were linked to cooling towers. Well, it's Groundhog Day, and Staten Island Chuck has made his prediction. Are you ready for it? Sorry to say, Chuck did see a shadow, predicting 6 more weeks of winter weather. Early this morning, Punxsutawney Phil reportedly also saw his shadow. Chuck's annual ceremony was closed to the public due to the cold weather, but was live-streamed on the zoo's Facebook page. The prediction comes as the region continues to deal with polar temperatures and lingering snow, with the chance of more flurries later this week. A quick check of our transit situation right now. We have delays on Uptown 2 and 4 trains, and Brighton Beach bound B trains, also 5 trains in both directions. There's limited L train service between Brooklyn and Manhattan because EMS is responding to a person in need at Bedford Avenue. Right now it's 33 degrees outside. It's sunny. It's going to be pretty chilly. Of course, tonight we're going to see temperatures probably in the upper teens overnight. You're listening to WNYC. It's Monday at 4:06.
Support for NPR comes from the John D. and Catherine T. MacArthur Foundation, recognizing extraordinarily creative individuals with a track record of excellence. More information on this year's MacArthur Fellows is at macfound.org.
It's All Things Considered from NPR News. I'm Scott Detrow.
And I'm Juana Summers. President Trump says his immigration crackdown in Minnesota targets, quote, vicious, horrible criminals. But the administration has also arrested more than 100 refugees as part of a larger plan to review refugee cases for potential fraud. The refugees caught up in the sweeps are people who lawfully entered the United States because they fled persecution. NPR's Jennifer Ludden has the story. Early morning 3 weeks ago, JJ says ICE agents started knocking on his family's front door. He shows me how. Inside their small apartment, his wife panicked. They grabbed documents to show they and their 4 children are lawful refugees from Venezuela. But one of the officers said there was an issue.
Ellos me dijeron que ellos nada más iban a verificar las huellas, que no había ningún problema, que no lo iban a detener.
They told me they just needed to verify the fingerprints for our oldest son, but he would not be detained, he says. The family has asked that we use only their initials for fear of retaliation from immigration agents. JJ and his wife, A, were confused, but opened the door. And then they watched as their 20-year-old son was, in fact, arrested.
Cuando veo que le están poniendo las esposas, me dio mucho miedo.
When I saw him being handcuffed, I felt so scared, A says. They had guns with their fingers on the trigger. Their daughter reported on her phone as her brother was put in the back seat of a black SUV. A passing car honks in protest as the officers drive off. Last month, Homeland Security announced it was re-examining thousands of recent refugee cases to root out fraud. That's been a
big focus since a massive benefits scandal in Minnesota. It involved Somali Americans who'd come as refugees. But Jane Grotman, who resettles refugees with the International Institute of Minnesota, says they are probably the most vetted immigrants.
You know, the FBI has already checked them. The Immigration Service has already checked them. They've had biometric screenings.
A class action lawsuit says DHS has seized refugees without a warrant and flown many to a detention center in Texas. Grotman says they've also been released there.
Most of the people that we're hearing about are being let out in the streets in Texas, and they have no money, no documents, no way to get home.
She says one man's employer drove to Texas to bring him back to Minnesota. A federal judge has ordered the refugees released and granted a temporary pause while the lawsuit plays out. The Department of Homeland Security did not answer NPR's questions about why people have been sent to Texas and whether agents have found fraud. But it said in a statement that, quote, Minnesota is ground zero for the war on fraud.
It seems like what they're actually doing is trying to find a way to revoke their refugee status.
Immigration attorney Luke Brzezowski represents a single mother who was detained first in Texas, then Minnesota. She did not have the diabetes medication she takes twice a day, and she was grilled for nearly 7 hours, essentially relitigating her entire refugee case.
a combination vehicle. Never. Which answer is correct for the air valves when testing the trailer service brakes only? Service brake off, parking brake off, trailer air supply in open and trolley applied. You are coupling a semi-trailer to your tractor but have not yet backed under. The trailer is at the right height when the trailer will be raised slightly when the tractor is backed under it. Camera ahead. How should you test the tractor-trailer connection for security? Pull gently forward in low gear against the locked trailer brakes, then inspect the coupling. Which answer is correct for the air valves when testing the trailer spring parking brakes only? Service brake off, parking brake off, trailer air supply out, trolley released. Your emergency airline breaks or gets pulled apart when you are driving. The loss of pressure will cause the emergency trailer brakes to come on. You supply air to the trailer tanks by pushing in the trailer air supply valve. There are two things that a driver can do to prevent a rollover. They are: one, keep the cargo as close to the ground as possible, and two, go slowly around turns. You are coupling a semi-trailer to your tractor but have not yet backed under. The trailer is at the right height when the trailer will be raised slightly when the tractor is back under it. In 0.2 miles, continue straight. The fifth wheel locking lever is not locked after the jaws close around the kingpin. This means the coupling is not right and should be fixed before driving the coupled unit. When backing your tractor under a trailer, you should expect be lifted slightly when the tractor backs under it. Before you start to uncouple, you must
use the right lane to stay to the right to Vanderbilt Avenue.
Make sure the ground is solid and can support the weight of the trailer. During uncoupling, you should disconnect the electrical cable and hang it with the plug down.
Turn left on Atlantic Avenue. Use the right lane to
As part of your vehicle inspection test, if your vehicle is equipped with an air brakes and has a trailer, you will inspect the air connections between the truck and tractor and the trailer. Make sure that the are locked in place and free of damage or air leaks. Gland hands. If your vehicle gets stuck on a railroad track, you should
get out.
Get away from your vehicle and call 911 or the posted emergency
now.
number. If your test of the tractor protection valve is successful,
get away now.
The tractor protection valve control, trailer air supply control will pop out or go from normal to emergency. You should not use the trailer hand brake to straighten out a jackknifing trailer because the brakes on the trailer wheels caused the skid in the first place. You should not use the trailer hand valve while driving because of the danger of making the trailer skid. A trailer is most likely to jackknife when it is empty. When backing a tractor under a trailer, you should always use the lowest reverse gear. The best way to tell if your trailer has started to skid is to see it in your mirrors. Describe what the trailer air supply control does. It is used to supply the trailer with air, shut the air off, and apply the trailer emergency brakes. If your vehicle is equipped with dummy couplers, why should you connect the glad hands to them? It will keep dirt and water out of the lines. When coupling a tractor semi-trailer, to test the trailer air brakes, you should place the tractor protection valve control in what position? Normal. Trucks roll over more easily when fully loaded and are
red light camera ahead.
10 times more likely to roll over in a crash than empty rigs. To stop a trailer skid, you should release the brakes. After you supply air to the trailer, make sure the air lines are not crossed and the trailer brakes are working. This is done by applying and releasing the trailer brakes and listening for brake sounds. The air leak rate for a combination vehicle engine off, brakes off should be no more than PSI per minute. 3. If the service you are driving a combination vehicle but the emergency line stays together, what will happen right away?
Red light camera ahead.
Nothing is likely to happen until you try to apply the brakes. You are coupling a tractor and semi-trailer and have connected the air lines. Before backing under the trailer, you should supply air to the trailer system, then pull out the trailer air supply knob to lock the trailer brakes. You have coupled with a semi-trailer. In what position should you put the front trailer supports before driving away? Fully raised with the crank handle secure in its...
Take your money to the next level with high yield cash from Robinhood Gold. Sign up now for just $5 a month.
Bracket. The driver crosses the airlines when hooking up to an old trailer. What will happen? If the trailer has no spring brakes, you can drive away, but you will not have trailer brakes. Why should you be sure that the fifth wheel plate is greased as required? To prevent steering problems. To prevent rollover, cargo should be spread evenly across the trailer and as low as possible. Where should the tractor be when you inspect the landing gear after uncoupling the trailer? With the tractor frame under the trailer. An anti-lock braking system, ABS, is useful whether it is on the tractor or the trailers. You should use shocks when parking a trailer without spring brakes because if the air supply leaks away, there will be no brakes. To unlock the fifth wheel, pull the release handle to the position. Open. What is a tractor jackknife? When you look up the driver's tires on the trailer and the trailer spins out sideways as the tractor continues to push forward. What gear should the tractor engine be in after you uncouple the trailer and are inspecting the trailer supports? Neutral. The air leakage rate for a combination vehicle engine off, brakes on should not be more than 4 psi per minute. Why should you lock the trailer glad hands to each other or the storage bracket when you are not towing a trailer? It will keep the dirt and water out of the lines. You are driving a combination vehicle when the trailer breaks away, pulling apart both air lines. You would expect the trailer brakes to come on and the tractor protection valve to close. The hand valve should be used to test the trailer brakes. Combination vehicles take longer to stop when they're empty than when they are fully loaded because there is less traction. To uncouple a loaded trailer after the landing gear has made firm contact with the ground, you should turn the crank a few more times to lift some weight off the tractor. The tractor protection valve is designed to close automatically when the air pressure falls into the pressure range specified by the manufacturer, typically 20 to 45 psi. If the brakes did not release when you push the trailer air supply valve, you should check the air line connections. In general, the higher your truck's center of gravity, the easier it is to turn over. When you test the tractor protection valve, the red air supply control knob should go into the emergency position. When coupling, the proper position of the fifth wheel is tilted down towards the rear of the tractor. The front trailer supports are up and the trailer is resting on the tractor. Make sure both answers are correct. There is enough clearance between the tops of the tractor tires and the nose of the trailer. And there is enough clearance between the tractor frame and the landing gear. You are coupling a tractor to a semi-trailer and have backed up but are not under it. What should you hook up before backing under? The emergency and service airlines. Before you back under a trailer, make sure the air brakes are off. On a double or triple vehicle, which wheels off track the most? The rear wheels of the last trailer. Which statement best illustrates the crack the whip effect? When making a quick lane change or sudden movement of the steering wheel, the rear trailer tends to swing out. The force of the rear trailer becomes amplified, causing it to roll over. To test the tractor protection valve, charging the trailer air brake system, turn off the engine and step on and off the brake pedal several times. Which of the following vehicles off-tracks the most? A 5-axle tractor towing a 52-foot trailer. Almost half of all truck driver deaths are the results of
Rerouting. You save 2 minutes via Manhattan Bridge over roadway Brooklyn and avoid traffic building up on your route.
At night, when a vehicle is carrying a load that extends 4 feet or more beyond the rear of the body, there must be at the extreme end of the load. Red lights. In normal driving, some drivers use the hand valve before applying the brake pedal to prevent a jackknife. Which of these statements is true? It should not be done.
Delivery.
You should not back a tractor under a trailer until the whole air system is at normal pressure. After you supply air to the trailer, make sure the air lines are not crossed and the trailer brakes are working. This can be done by applying and releasing
In a quarter of a mile, stay to the right to Manhattan Bridge, Upper Roadway, Canal Street East.
דיברת איתו? מה קורה? הוא לא עונה. טוב, אמר לך עד איזה שעה הוא נמצא?
עד 4-5.
אז בטח כבר יסגרו עד שתגיע לשם. ושמת את הלפטופ בסטורג'?
אני בסטורג' עכשיו.
ובאינטק, אנטי-אינטק עד מתי פתוחים?
לא יודע, עכשיו כל הזמן, אני חושב לשם.
אני אבוא לאסוף אותך, אני עכשיו לא רחוק, אני בעיר עוד מעט. לא, לא להצליח, מה יש להצליח? עם האוטו זה לא הכל בקלות עם האוטו. ניפגש בסטורי, אקח אותך לאינטק. כי זה קרוס טאון, זה סיפור הקרוס טאון.
אתה צריך לעבוד, מה?
ואני עבדתי כבר, עשיתי את ה-150, אני הבאג'ט שלי, אפילו שאני מספיק שנעשה 100 ביום, זה מספיק.
כן.
אוקיי, אני אפגוש אותך בסטורי, להתראות.
Releasing the trailer brakes and listening for brake sounds. What is the safest way for you to make a turn without entering another traffic lane?
1.9 miles. Turn left on East Houston Street.
You should turn wide as you complete the turn. Even before anti-lock braking systems, ABS were required. Some vehicles already had them. How can you check if your vehicle has ABS? Look under the vehicle for the ECU and wheel speed sensor wires coming from the back of the brakes. What is the emergency airline? Airlines that control the emergency brakes on combination vehicles. You're uncoupling a trailer. After you shut off the trailer air supply and lock the trailer brakes, you should back up gently to ease pressure on the fifth wheel locking jaws.
Charlie choo-choo train, Charlie choo-choo train.
A tractor with a trailer requires the shortest amount of stopping distance. Fully loaded.
Charlie choo-choo train, Charlie choo-choo train.
The tractor protection valve will close and the trailer
Left to Canal Street West.
brakes will come on when there is a major leak in the brake line.
Right lane blocked ahead.
Parking brakes.
Continue on Canal Street.
You have a major leak in the service line and you put on the brakes. Service air pressure will escape and cause the trailer emergency spring emergencies to come on. Semi-trailers made before 1975 that are equipped with air brakes
Don't have spring.
often do not have spring brakes.
Use
Hello,
either lane to turn
my name is
right
Adam
on
Ferrari, the Chief Executive Officer of Phoenix Energy. I look forward to you joining us at our next investor webinar, where you can drill deeper into our 9 to 13% annual interest rate bond offerings and see how our company has become an emerging leader in the oil and gas industry. In 2024, Phoenix Energy rose to become the 11th most prolific oil and gas operator in the Williston Basin, one of America's top producing regions. We are now right alongside industry giants like ConocoPhillips and EOG.
In half a mile. Continue on Bowery.
How much space should be between the apron and the fifth wheel after coupling?
None.
None. On a trailer, where is the yellow anti-lock brake, ABS, malfunction lamp located? On the front left or rear left corner. What are the other names for the service airline? Control line and signal line. You should not back a tractor under a trailer until the whole air system is at normal pressure. Air and electrical lines from the tractor to the trailer should be secured but with enough slack for turns. Which of these statements is true? Bobtail tractors can take longer to stop than a combination vehicle loaded to the maximum gross weight. Which part of the kingpin should the locking jaws close around? The shank. Under good driving conditions, you should leave at least 1 second of space between your vehicle and the vehicle ahead of every feet of your vehicle's length. 10 feet. You supply air to the trailer tanks by pushing in the trailer air supply control. When you get ready to back under the semi-trailer, you should line up directly in front of the trailer.
In 0.2 miles, use the right 2 lanes to continue on.
Airlines on a combination vehicle are often color-coded to keep them from getting mixed up. The emergency line is, the service line is, emergency line is red, and the service line is blue. Low underneath clearance vehicles can be risky at railroad crossings because they are more likely to get stuck on raised railroad crossings. After you have coupled the trailer, you should start to raise the landing gear by using low gear. At what angle do you hold your airline glad hands when connecting them? .90 degrees. If you do not do the final air brake check for air leaks and fix them before driving, you could lose your brakes while driving. Which type of truck trailer combination has the greatest chance of a crack the whip rollover? A tractor pulling 3 trailers. Compared with a straight truck or bus, there are things to inspect in combination vehicles. More things. If the trailer has anti-lock brakes, ABS, but the tractor doesn't, the trailer is still less likely to swing out. The safety catch for the 5th wheel locking lever must be for a coupling to be completed over the locking lever. To drive a triple combination vehicle, you must have a Class A CDL with a doubles triples endorsement. Low underneath clearance vehicles can be risky at railroad crossings because they are more likely to get stuck on raised railroad crossings. To test the tractor protection valve, charging the trailer air brake system, turn off the engine and step on and off the brake pedal several times. Under good driving conditions, you should leave at least 1 second of space between your vehicle and the vehicle ahead for every feet of your vehicle's length. 10 feet. If you do not do the final air brake check for air leaks and fix them before driving, you could lose your brakes while driving. What is a tractor jackknife? When you lock up the drive tires on the tractor and the tractor spins out sideways as the trailer continues to push forward. A tractor with a trailer requires the shortest amount of stopping distance. Fully loaded.
Turn left on East 13th Street.
Air and electrical lines from the tractor to the trailer should be secured, but with enough slack for turns. You should use shocks when parking a trailer without spring brakes because
Speed camera ahead.
if the air supply leaks away, there will be no brakes. Let's get to work on a life you love. Built with someone you can trust.
Delivery.
Speed bumps ahead. Use the right lane to turn right on East 22nd Street. Speed camera ahead.
When should you use the hand valve to park a combination vehicle? Never. Which answer is correct for the air valves when testing the trailer service brakes only? Service brake off, parking brake off, trailer air supply in, open, and trolley applied. You're coupling a semi-trailer to your tractor but have not yet backed under. The trailer is at the right height when the trailer will be raised slightly when the tractor is backed under it. How should you test the tractor-trailer connection for security? Pull gently forward in low gear against the locked trailer brakes and inspect the coupling. Which answer is correct for the air valves when testing the trailer spring parking brakes only? Service brake off, parking brake off, trailer air supply out, trolley released. Your emergency airline breaks or gets pulled apart when you're driving. The loss of pressure will cause the emergency trailer brakes to come on. You supply air to the trailer tanks by pushing in the trailer air supply valve. There are two things that a driver can do to prevent a rollover. They are 1, keep the cargo as close to the ground as possible, and 2, go slowly around turns. You are coupling a semi-trailer to your tractor but have not yet backed under. The trailer is at the right height when the trailer will be raised slightly when the tractor is back under it. The fifth wheel locking lever is not locked after the jaws close around the kingpin. This means the coupling is not right and should be fixed before driving the coupled unit. When backing your tractor under a trailer, you should expect trailer will be lifted slightly when the tractor backs under it.
Here's a great way to make the most of your uninvested cash. Robinhood Gold offers one of the highest APYs available. With Gold, your uninvested cash.
Before you start to uncouple, you must make sure the ground is solid and can support the weight of the trailer. During uncoupling, you should disconnect the electrical cable and hang it with the plug down. As part of your vehicle inspection test, if your vehicle is equipped with an air brakes and has a trailer, you will inspect the air connections between the truck and tractor and the trailer. Make sure that the are locked in place and free of damage or air leaks. Gland hands. If your vehicle gets stuck on a railroad track, you should get away from your vehicle and call 911 or the posted emergency number. If your test of the tractor protection valve is successful, the tractor protection valve control, trailer air supply control will pop out or go from normal to emergency. You should not use the trailer hand brake to straighten out a jackknifing trailer because the brakes on the trailer wheels caused the skid in the first place. You should not use the trailer hand valve while driving because of the danger of making the trailer skid. A trailer is most likely to jackknife when it is empty.
I'm gonna get one tomato coming up. Thank you, everybody. Peace and love. Peace and love. Peace and love. Peace and love. See you tomorrow. Thank you for sticking around. Like, share, subscribe.